Yes.
Okay. I'd like to call the Board of Selectmen's meeting of October 19th to order. Please join us in the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody here, our big audience out here tonight, there, as you see out here. First thing on the agenda is approve the minutes of September 21st. Motion,
Moved.
is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So voted. Except for review minutes, October 5th, 2016.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted. Approve and release of executive session minutes, meeting minutes, March 16th, April 20th, June 22nd, August 17th, September 7th.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
So voted. Fire Department, 2005 Chevrolet van disposition there, okay. So that's the one that David talked to me about. I guess the school wants it.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. And so I guess we'd have a motion to,
Make a motion the administrator dispose of it as seen best use.
okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
So voted. Ratified vote to appeal the Superior Court decision, Board of Selectmen, Town of West Bridgewater. This is the Office of Massachusetts Attorney General, Division of Open Government.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So voted. Approve Epicure request to host a special event. What exactly is that?
What's the special event?
Yeah. I know they had this last year. What do they actually do?
Yeah, what they do is they bring in a distributor for alcohol, and it's a private party. So I can't exactly tell you what they do. There's going to be
Okay,
about
but not,
20.
generally.
Yeah, but it'll be
involves
a 20.
alcohol, okay.
Exactly. It'll involve alcohol. It's on a Tuesday night, which is when they're normally closed.
Okay.
And it'll be between 20 and 24 residents.
Okay, is there a motion for that?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ratify Elderly Services Director's contract?
Yep. So as you know, we appointed, the Board of Selectmen appointed a new Elder Services Director. In executive session, you advised me as to the terms and conditions that you are willing to pay for the new director. I sat with Ms. Mather. She accepted all those terms. The contract as such is before you for your ratification and signature. And just so you are aware, it's a one-year contract. It will expire in June of 2017.
Any other questions?
There's the traditional probational period.
I didn't do one. I can if you would like me to. It was only,
Already been employed, so it's
Ex-
not, yeah.
and technically, because it's only really a 7-month contract, it almost is, but she had already been employed by the town.
Okay, great. I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion?
I'd just like to point out, she has some tough shoes to follow, but she's a very capable person, and I look forward to a lot of great changes over there, and it's a great decision. So thank you, everyone that helped do the interview process.
Okay, I guess that comes from the other two, both Anthony and myself too. And I hope that they have keep that up over there, because they got a great program over there. Okay, I'll call for the vote. Is there a motion?
It was already motion,
All right.
second.
Yeah.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Speedway response to request to remove the structure. This has been going on for quite a while. They were before us. I think that one time we gave them a year to do it, and this thing is still up there. So what is the latest on that?
Yeah, no, Mr. Chairman, you're absolutely correct. It's disappointing. I've had multiple conversations with them, documented each and every one. I've had multiple conversations with two of their attorneys. Everybody has said all the right things. They continue to tell us they're going to do what it is that we're looking for them to do in reference to remove the storage tank. And then I received a subsequent letter within the past couple of weeks from Mr. Lewis, their latest counsel, saying that they will remove the tanks, although he still hasn't provided a date, but will not remove the structures that are above ground. I mean, I think, one, it's an eyesore. The second thing is, it's a public safety issue that even though there's small buildings in the middle of the winter, it doesn't mean someone can't access them. There's plywood, that means that they could potentially be placed on fire, they could actually be caught on fire. So, I just think it's unacceptable. So I have written him back. I've had multiple emails with him, and I'm still looking for, I'm looking for clarification as to the date, as to when they're going to remove the tanks, which is a requirement of the law. Unfortunately, we don't have any legal requirement to force them to take the structures off, but it's something that they should be doing, just because they're going to have heavy equipment on site anyway, so it's not going to be that much more to remove it. And whenever they sell the property, the next people are going to have to do it, so they're going to negotiate that as part of the contract price. So this is one an FYI to you. As I said in my most recent letter to them, I think the Board of Selectmen has always been very pro-business friendly. You have made every effort, and you've been extremely patient. But I think at this point, they really need to move, or else I'm going to have to get legal counsel involved with your permission and see as to what additional recourse we might have.
David, as of right now, are there any pending fines or penalties for not removing the tanks as of today? And what are the fine or the conditions of the fine?
So our bylaw states that we are able to fine them if they are non-compliant. Unfortunately, which I think we'll have to make for a change in this upcoming annual town meeting. But right now, all it does is it cites the applicable Mass General Law of what we can fine. And the Mass General Law that covers it is a one-time, pretty small fine. There's not a lot of teeth to it. So I have alluded to the fine in my letters to them, because normally fines like this would be a daily fine and therefore would accumulate rather quickly. So I've not informed them that there's just a one-time fine. I've just told them the truth. We can fine you. I'm hoping they infer that it's a high number to make them move. But to answer your question, it's a one-time fine at this point. And my recommendation is I think we need to modify that at annual town meeting and probably have the selectmen have the authority and be empowered to assess a daily fine for non-compliance.
All right. I was hoping there was some leverage there to waive the fines if they were to agree to remove the structure, but there also may be some environmental concerns that the Conservation Commission may have some jurisdiction over with some hefty fines if things aren't rectified. So, thank you.
Welcome. So I will stay on it. It's just an FYI to the board.
Okay, Anthony, you got anything?
No.
No, okay. All right, moving on. Review the clear government proposal. I know, Anthony, I think David told me that you were pretty well involved with this, and you probably know more than any of us on this. I see the full explanation there, where it'll benefit us, and also they'll be able to access the website. The only thing I have there, this is like an off-budget item there. Where would the money come from? That's one of my questions. I know we try to keep the budgets in line with everybody else to keep in line, but now here's an expenditure. Is this something that you feel is necessary at this time? But it's probably good.
Is it necessary? No.
No.
I just think it's a good way to be transparent. I mean, the state does
Yeah,
it
right.
for their budget, and all state agencies, they use a website called Open Checkbook.
Yeah.
I just think this is a good way of being more transparent and showing everyone exactly what we're spending their tax dollars on.
Yeah.
There is some cost. I think we got an original proposal
Yeah,
for $4,500, and David
Yeah,
negotiated it down a little bit.
2,500, that'll bring us on into the 17th, and then it's 3,750 payments, so one payment, and the 17th, the year 17, another one, 3,750 in the year 18. David, is there any money available to do this before we even get into this, or if the board votes it, it would be nice to have. There's no question that it would probably be a good thing to have. How do you feel about it, Jerry?
Well, I think it's wonderful. It's a great tool. Again, with the new website and, we do everything we can so people are informed and know what's going on in their town. They shouldn't have to dig. So I think it's a great proposal. What I'd like to see, and if it's in line, I'd like to make a proposal, we go forward with it as a budget item for the next fiscal year.
Okay, and not put it into effect now, or,
Correct. Well, it would, yeah, we put it in our operating budget for the next fiscal year, and it would go in effect upon approval of that budget.
okay. How do you feel about that?
That's fine with me.
Okay, is that a motion?
Yeah, that's my motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion?
And the only one item that I want to let you know is, the original proposal was $4,500 per year. So I did negotiate it down to $2,500 between now and the prorated for this year, and $3,750 for the next two. Part of my motivation when I did that was, if we sign something now, I want a better price. So my only point is that no problem, we could start it for July 1st of next year. She may rescind the offer, I may have to renegotiate. We know it can't be higher than 45. I'll do everything I can to keep it at the 37.50. I just want the board to be aware that that was my leverage in my negotiations with her.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Well, I think we understand that.
Yeah, it's definitely just, I mean, we're not getting the full year's product anyway, so.
Oh, is there a second on that?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So voted. Every year there, now we vote for deficit spending, because this is the time of year that he stocks up with the salt, because he gets a better deal. And this is done routinely every year. It's out of benefits us. We're looking for a vote.
So moved.
Second.
Spending for the highway.
Second.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so voted. Communication reports from boards, commissions, and town officials. Okay, the only thing is, you know, there's a couple of events coming up, and the Tri-Town Parade is now in West Bridgewater, and in fact, there's a meeting of the committee tomorrow night, and a Veterans Day Parade, and that will be in West Bridgewater this year. November 11th as usual, and also over the fire house, the old fire, there'll be like an open house over there, and that'll be on the end of the month there. What's the 30th of
That is correct. It's October 30th from 1 to 4.
October 30th, and
This is the open house of the new museum.
yeah, of the new museum. Okay, I don't know if
Is
there's
the
anything
fire
else.
truck in there?
Huh?
Is that, is,
It's going back in there. I don't know if it's back in there yet.
It's in there as we speak.
Great. Ellen, if I could, the board received a letter. I just think the public should hear. We got it a few weeks back, but if you don't mind, I'd like to read it into record.
So what do you
It's
got?
to the Board of Selectmen. Dear Honorable Selectmen, Mary, Carrie, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the town of West Bridgewater for being such integral part of the success over the past 25 years. The professionalism, understanding, and desire to help business thrive from every aspect of this town has been remarkable, and we can't begin to say enough. It has been an extreme pleasure to work with the board, the entire town administration, the West Bridgewater Police Department, the West Bridgewater Fire Department. The fact is, these years in West Bridgewater have been the most rewarding, both professional and personal, for all of us. The decision to close the doors of the Charlie Horse was so extremely hard, but at the end of the day, it was a business decision that we had to make. We're proud of everything we did in this location and leave with our heads high and feeling hope that our paths will cross again. We thank you all in the entire community of West Bridgewater. We can't thank you enough for the continued support throughout the history of the Charlie Horse. Sincerely, Ed Stewart, Mary, and Carrie Barrett. I just think it was very nice of the Charlie Horse to reach out to the board for our years of working with them. And again, it's very sad that that establishment closed. But going forward, hopefully we get another thriving business there.
I'd like to have a copy of that, Anthony, probably a copy too.
yeah.
If you
Absolutely.
get a chance. I think it's terrific. We certainly miss them, and they were a great business there, and they did a lot for the community also, too. And especially for for the birthdays and everything else was celebrated over there, so it's sad. I just hope that they do find someplace in the future and then they return to West Bridgewater. Thank you, Jerry. Okay, any other communications from members of the board?
I would like to also point out, Eldon, you and I were both at one time Citizen of the Year by the Rotary Club of the Bridgewaters.
Yeah.
They had their awards banquet yesterday. Cal and Fran Cray, they are the chair people of the West Bridgewater Food Pantry. This is a great honor by a great community service organization, and I would like the board to send out congratulations to the two of them for being nominated this year's West Bridgewater Rotary Club Citizen of the Year.
Okay, is there a second to that?
Second?
Any other discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you, Jerry. Public comments? Don't all those people talk at once out there.
I got one more thing, Eldon. In the past, on a yearly basis, we've had any firefighters. As you know, the board isn't a part of the hiring of firefighters at this time, so we don't always get to meet them as we do every other town employee that's hired usually. But once a year, we like to invite any new hires in that were promoted or newly hired to be introduced to the board and the public on TV. So if we could send communication to the fire chief, that we'd like to extend an invitation to meet those men and women that may have joined the department over the last 12 months.
Very good idea. Is there
Very
a
good.
second to that?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted. Anthony, you have anything?
I do not.
Oh, move to town administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Only one item is in reference to Next Step Living. You may recall that they were a for-profit entity that was a partnership with National Grid, Eversource, and the state of Massachusetts in order to try to create, in order to do energy assessments on people's residential homes.
Yeah,
They partnered with the Board of Selectmen the last handful of years, and part of that partnership agreement was that they were going to send money back into the town of West Bridgewater for the emergency fund for the Council on Aging. Their first check to us was $750. It was a really good start. It seemed like a good partnership. And within the past 6 months, we really hadn't heard much from them. Selectman Lawrence and I were talking about it, and we both agreed that we needed to reach out and see how they were doing. And when I tried to reach out, there was nobody to reach to. I asked Tracy. She did the same. And upon Googling them, it turns out in March of this year, they closed their doors. So that's why we haven't heard from them. It's really just, again, an FYI to the board, since it looked like it was going to be a nice long-term relationship that unfortunately is no longer in existence. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
other than that, that's it for my report.
Okay, anything else? We got executive session?
We do not.
No, we do not, so, I guess that's it. I wanna thank everybody for, participating and whoever's watching us out there, and, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So voted.